So you have this great idea, but then you have to create followership. That means people have to get bought into your idea. How have
Yeah.
you done that, Zeeshan?
Okay, so the idea that we are trying to work on, right,
Mm,
is a problem that majority of students of my generation and even the generation today face. I'll
mm,
tell you the story of MyCaptain and why is it that we started MyCaptain. And in fact, I'll even talk about how did I get my first team.
mm.
So there was this conversation a couple of my friends and I were having in a hostel room a night before our exams, right? And you all know what happens in a hostel room a night before the exam. You're just
We'll ignore the
apart.
bottles and everything else, but we'll talk about.
so, so you talk about everything under the sun except for trying to study for the next day's paper. So we're
Correct.
spending some time on YouTube. We're going through some random videos on Facebook, and eventually we started talking. And through the course of the discussion, we started talking about what career is it that we actually wanted to pursue. We're
Mm,
all stuck in engineering. We're all stuck in one very dingy hostel in a university in Chennai, and all three of us were like, okay, what is it that we actually wanted to pursue if
mm,
not engineering? And my friend over there said that, what, I wanted to become tech blogger.
mm,
The other person said that he wanted to become a journalist.
mm,
And I said that I wanted to become an astronomer. And
mm.
it struck us that three people from three different parts of the country, passionate about three completely different things, were studying engineering, a subject that we are absolutely not passionate about. And we realized that this particular problem was not just faced by the three of us, it
Mm.
was faced by our entire generation. So any person
Wow.
who wanted to become, let's say, a filmmaker, a photographer, a stand-up comedian, a sports journalist,
Correct.
or anything of that nature, was absolutely confused about how do they take their first step into these fields. And
Mm,
this is where we decided, what, there needs to be some organization or
mm,
someone who comes in and creates this societal mindset shift
mm,
around how careers are looked at in India.
mm,
And this was the main, the idea behind
mm,
starting my venture. So it
mm,
was fairly very easy for me to get people enrolled into my vision and
mm,
enrolled into what we are trying to create, because everybody around me was facing that problem. So we were able to relate to that very well.
mm,
And we it all was about telling the story. It was
mm,
all about making people understand the problem that we faced and make them relate to the problem that probably even they are facing at the moment. So it was fairly very easy for us to get the first followership. And
mm.
we had a humongous number of people and students who were like, I wanted to become a writer, I wanted to become a photographer, i i
Uh,
love I love filmmaking, but I'm stuck in BBA, BCom, engineering, law. So it was fairly easy to get all of them on board
mm,
because they faced the problem. They believed in the vision of
mm,
what we were trying to create, and they just came on board. There was no aspect of money. There's no aspect of how much time do I need to put in. There's no aspect of
mm.
what am I going to get out of it. It was purely the vision, the movement, the kind of world that we imagined that we wanted to create. And that's what got all of these 18, 19, 20-year olds to come on board and work and just enroll themselves in it.
Absolutely. So, which means it's a good idea. Sometimes we call it hidden in plain sight, right?
uh, I,
It's there.
I I think every idea, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship,
Mm,
idea is fine, right? You have thousands and 10,000 ideas that can come into your head.
mm,
But is your thought or is your product idea, is your solution actually creating some kind of a change? Is it
mm,
actually solving problems of people? Is it creating some kind of a positive change in the world? Only
mm,
these ideas can then eventually turn into sustainable businesses and organizations, if not businesses. And that is the key, right? So idea is
mm,
fine, but you have to be able to very clearly break it down. If this is my idea, what problem is my idea trying to solve?
mm,
Right?
mm,
And if you're not able to get that answer right, and you don't see that if there are not enough number of people who face that problem, or the problem doesn't really exist, then you might want to go and rethink about about your ideas. The other thing about ideas is that there can be great ideas, there can be great problems that you wish to solve, but if you don't do anything physical with it,
Mm.
especially the first 10, 15, 20 seconds of that idea coming into your head, then I can guarantee you'll never be working on that idea. So
Mm.
whenever you have these great ideas coming in, the best thing I would suggest is go down, jot it down on in a diary, or maybe pick up the phone and call up your best friend or whoever you think you can discuss this particular problem or idea with, and do something physical with it, right?
Mm.
So that's just something, because we started talking about ideas, I thought I would just jump in and talk about it.
Yeah. No. So the fact is, I mean, there's somebody who told me an idea without execution is hallucination, right?
That's true.